Today on A&J Gaming, we will be discussing a somewhat serious topic of do video games cause real-life violence?
Yes, and
We will be starting off on one of the most famous video games for causing violence ever, and that is Grand Theft Auto.
yes, we will also be including Call of Duty as well, and and for people who don't like killing animals, we're going to be including Far Cry 4 into this equation.
Yes.
So,
Moving.
allow me to start off with my first point. If I walk up to this random civilian right here with my heavy pistol, just walk up to them and go, I murdered that person in the game.
And in a video game, you just shot someone who was just minding their own business without remorse.
I mean, I feel kind of guilty for her being, a little bit innocent in this. Anyways,
now the question moves on to is, will this impact people enough to make them replicate this?
that's a good question, Josh. And
Go on.
honestly, no. I mean, just because I shot that person in the game doesn't mean I'm going to go out and shoot somebody like that in real life. People need to be taught what is appropriate in the real world and what isn't. Just like killing isn't right in the real world. I mean, killing's not really right in video games either, but I mean, it won't make you a killer.
Now there are people out there that would disagree and say that people who obsess over violent video games, who their whole lives are lived through those violent games, will try to replicate them.
And that is true, but those are only special cases and should not be considered with the overall population. That was really scientific.
Yes, I guess.
See, I'm gonna do something else.
No remorse. And with a few hits of a button, you can just immediately get away from any consequences that could possibly happen to you in this.
See, that's what's different from video games and real life. You can't just get out of stuff.
Nope.
If you kill somebody in real life, you're gonna get in trouble. I mean, look, eventually you will.
Yep. In video games, you can do whatever you want without remorse. Which moves on to my next question. Should video game makers take violence out of video games?
No. Because, as opposed to violent movies and stuff, which we'll talk about later also,
Yes.
violent games allow you to be part of it. So you're not just watching it saying, like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I did that. No, you're actually doing it, so just in a game where no one really gets hurt.
In a game with violence, more than likely, like in GTA's case, if you're just free roaming, you can choose not to do those evil, questionable acts.
Yes.
Which moves on to movies, that form of media. In my opinion, I believe that causes more violence than video games. And
Yes, because you're not an active participant. You're just sitting there watching and, like,
it's when you watch a movie, you're introduced to real people portraying a story. And movie makers nowadays will go to extreme lengths to make movies as gory as possible.
wasted.
And eventually people keep watching these movies and they start to become fans of the movies, and they'll start to like the characters, and then
They want to be like the characters.
they'll try to emulate the characters. Which of certain movies is fine if it's like a good person and stuff like that, but
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna try to beat Iron Man, then more power to you. Which
yeah,
which also brings up
like,
there's a difference between
there's a difference between being a fan and being that one lunatic that takes things too far.
yes,
Such as, I'm going to bring up the incident of the Joker who shot all those people in the at the Batman movie.
Right.
Because he was so in love with the Joker's character that he wanted to be like the Joker. Now, I'm gonna say this, I've played Grand Theft Auto for years.
We
both
played it. We both played mature games.
We've played the horrible games that a lot of people object to, but
I mean, we're the nicest people. Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're the nicest people you could ever meet, almost.
we don't smoke as portrayed in video games or movies. We don't
Drink.
We don't drink. We don't
Kill people.
Yeah, that's obvious. We'd be in jail if we did that. And I've never.
We don't hijack cars.
No, we've never had the urge to participate in any real life activities that are replicated in violent video games. Which really moves on to the topic, it's the person that matters, not the media, really.
Right. Also, I hate to say this, but parenting also plays a factor. Because...
it plays a huge factor in it.
Oh yeah, because if someone is... Like, your parents... Okay, we're just going to use you as an example because I know this... I know a lot of things. But anyways, your parents said that whenever you first started playing them, they said that it's alright if you participate, but as long as you know that everything in, like, all killing and everything is wrong, you shouldn't do that in real life.
Yes. That was the only reason I was allowed to play mature games, was they made it very clear. Do not replicate or do any of these violent acts in real life. And I never have. It's the basics to teach your children what is right and wrong before they see something violent or play something violent like a video game. It's a parent's responsibility to teach their children right and wrong.
We're not blaming parents for
It's
anything.
just a whole combination of factors that equal to people to... Like the fans of the Slender Man movie. They became so obsessed with Slender Man in the movies because he was portrayed as cool, and supposedly they eventually went to like a religious plane for them, and they tried to emulate him, and it's awful.
TV and video games are all meant to be enjoyed, but not to necessarily take part in what they...
But not to replicate. They're there for entertainment, not for you to become or be them. Not saying that people who go to Comic-Con dressed up as a stormtrooper or something are evil people, but they're just enjoying their media by going to a convention about it.
Right.
Not actually...
Living it.
Yeah, getting a machine gun and dressed as a stormtrooper on top of a college shooting people or something. That one might have been a little specific, but I heard that from somewhere.
Where did you hear that from?
Would you be surprised? TV.
I would not.
It wasn't actually a stormtrooper, it was just some nut. It really comes down to the person,
Right.
their moral ethics. You know, what they know right from wrong, and how obsessed they become with whatever form of media they're watching or playing.
Right.
It really just comes down to the person.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, the first game we're talking about in general is... Yeah, this game.
Grand Theft Auto.
Just Grand Theft Auto. And... So, basically, obviously, for anybody who plays the games, there's lots of bad things in the game, like...
Including what I'm gonna call overuse of foul language, the F word at least. I mean, you can't go a sentence without hearing it, it gets really annoying.
Right. And...
Smoking, drinking... Killing without remorse.
Sexual content.
Yep. As well as just... the freedom they give you, you can do whatever you want.
You don't have to participate in those things if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we personally have a lot more fun driving around flying airplanes and doing all that crap rather than killing people.
Mm-hmm. Crashes are fun.
Crashes are fun.
Now, what's the next thing you want to talk about on this?
Let's talk about...
Miss me! For fuck's sakes!
Let's talk about,
This is a
let's go ahead and shift Owen over to Call of Duty then. And then we'll talk about first-person shooters. Because right now we're just talking about free roaming games.
And overall movies and people
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
There is one more thing I wanted to say.
Okay. And that is
that people... It all comes down to this. If they should ban violent games or make them restricted to certain people, which they already are. You have to be 17 or 18 to get them.
Hmm.
Well, you should be at least. If not, then your local game dealer is not being right. Boy. Anyways, I don't know. I mean, it's
In the end, it just comes down to the person, really.
yeah.
Like some people with mental disorders, they'll play a game or something, and then it's just certain people that are, I'm gonna say,
Easily addicted.
yeah,
Have an addictive personality, which technically speaking, everyone does, but it just depends on what it is. Some people could be
Yeah.
addicted to reading.
yep. But if some people become addicted to being like Trevor in Grand Theft Auto 5, then eventually it's not going to be too long before they start acting like him and talking like him, and then eventually, if it goes way too far, they'll end up replicating him, and it'll just be bad for everyone else.
Right. And now on the topic of Call of Duty and first-person shooting games.
Yes.
Alright, so basically another game, this is one of the most popular games for first-person shooters because, well, everyone knows what Call of Duty is.
Yeah.
Because it's basically what it is, a shooting game.
Yes. Now, in Call of Duty, if I were to walk over here and shoot him in the face, there is no consequences whatsoever for just randomly shooting people on here. But that's what it's supposed to be, a war game where people can team up and shoot other teams and stuff.
Right.
The question is, do you think that affects people in a
Psychological way?
Yeah, like they want to. This sounds kind of ridiculous, but get like a machine gun and just go out and shoot other people after playing Call of Duty like this.
I don't know if it really would that much. I mean, it could, but I somehow don't think this would be as big as a problem as GTA would be.
Where in GTA you can do multiple questionable acts.
Right. This isn't really questionable acts because this is war.
That's what war is. Just shooting people, pretty much, without remorse and having to...
Although people in real life, if they go to war, they do have... They don't like killing people, but...
Yeah. That's what Call of Duty kind of glorifies it, in a way.
Yeah.
I got nothing against Call of Duty. I really enjoy it, actually.
Yeah, even though we have to be, you know, in the right cycle for it to be
Yeah.
playable to us, but...
Once again, we've played Call of Duty for years, and we've never had an urge to shoot someone or have a gun even remotely pointed towards someone. And we own guns, people. We're hunters.
Yes, we are hunters.
It's because we were both taught from a young age what is right and what is wrong, and we know that this is wrong to replicate in real life.
Unless you're actually in war.
Unless you're fighting for the defense of your nation or...
And loved ones.
Yeah.
Anyways, it really basically all. I really feel like I really hate sounding like I'm like a broken record when I say this, but it really all comes back down to the parents. And I thought it froze there for a second.
Me too. I'm glad. It all comes down to how you're raised and what kind of personality you are, pretty much.
I mean, but for normal, I shouldn't say normal because there is no such thing as normal, but
Overall population?
for overall population, I mean, I don't really think that playing Call of Duty makes you a killer, no more than, I don't know,
some TV show, Breaking Bad or something.
It won't make you any more of a killer than Monopoly will make you rich.
Huh.
That's a good analogy.
I'm actually a little impressed.
Again.
Ah, darn it. Yeah.
And whenever we're playing on this game, we do celebrate whenever we kill somebody. Well, not really celebrate. We don't like have like a.
We don't go ah ha 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 ha. I shot him in the face.
Unless it's us two, and because we're best friends and
we can joke about that.
we can joke about that. But I would never, walk up to somebody. Okay.
I kind of shot you before you got there.
Like, okay, I would never walk up to somebody and do this. Where are you? Oh God.
I'm where I've been this entire time.
Don't shoot me. I said, don't shoot me.
Well, I thought you were falling anyway.
Alright, so I would never walk up to somebody in real life and go, oh, shh.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a little bit too into it, but you get the picture.
Yes. Uh-oh. Almost fell. Oh. By the way, most video game players will know that we are playing Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. In the future. Do you have any other points you want to make? Oh, I do have a point I want to make. Also, music videos and music are also media, or in the media. And those have an effect on it. Because it's kind of like, I don't mean to sound like one of those crazy people that are like, the government's after us, man! But it's kind of...
The lyrics
kind of send subliminal messages to people. Like... And also, the type of music you listen to kind of reflects your personality. Not always, but sometimes. Like, I don't know, I listen to a little bit of everything, so...
Yeah.
I don't really... It doesn't really affect me that much. Because one thing if it's a bad song, I just use the music to help me think about stuff. No!
No! You weren't alone down there. What is that?
Alright, so Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and switch over to Far Cry 4 now.
Which is very controversial in the way of animal killings.
Yes, and there's also... You'll see in that video, or in that part.
Yes. And moving right along to Far Cry 4.
And now we are in the wonderful world of Kyrat, which is Far Cry 4.
Yes. Ah!
And you almost got hit by a truck. Hilarious. Anyways.
Whiplash! Oh.
Serious.
Now, Far Cry 4 is notorious for its exotic animals and killings of the exotic animals.
Right, and there's also, you kill people in this game too.
Yes.
However, this game is a little bit different than Call of Duty and, GTA. And, in the sense of, you're helping people.
Yes.
In GTA, you're helping yourself.
Yes, the GTA stories. I'm kind of driving right now. You want to explain the story of Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto has always been about the person itself not doing anything good for anyone else, just him only worrying about themselves. Call of Duty is just
War.
Instead, there's really no other way to explain that. And this game, you are actually helping people. See, as he will demonstrate.
Oh, maybe.
You would be helping people if you wouldn't have blown those people up.
I honestly did not see them and driving away. Hey! I'm sorry if this isn't as tense and as serious as those other films, but Far Cry is a little.
It's more relaxed for us than other games. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, the killing of the animals.
This isn't really trying to the, well actually it kind of does animal abuse, but anyways.
Yeah.
Societal violence, but
It's
hard to explain.
It's hard to talk about, it is.
Because this game doesn't really...
Because this game, you can kill any animal you see. Any animal you can see can be a victim of however you kill it. Fire, all kinds of horrible, nasty things.
Right. So can people.
Yes. And the question is, should that be taken out of games? And... Okay.
Okay, how did it ricochet and land right there?
I do not know.
Anyways.
As if that should be taken out of games, or if not, is it really affects people? They'll go and try to replicate this.
It shouldn't be taken out again. I mentioned before that. Okay, there was a study done by. There have been multiple studies over the years done. Short-term effects, since no one has ever really taken long-term effects of gameplay. Short-term effects they are good for relieving stress, at least as far as I'm concerned.
It's also proven that after a day of school or work, that it's actually beneficial to play video games because it helps rest the mind after the day it's been through.
Right. It's also a much healthier solution than drinking or anything else that you would use to relieve stress. Which is why.
Okay. See, this game can be very violent against people as well. I almost just ran over someone earlier.
But in this game, there's a karma system. If you do something bad, you're gonna get punished for it.
Yes.
And if you do something good, you'll be rewarded.
And another thing on the killing animals, they say it's wrong to just shoot animals for no reason. And in this game, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, you need money, and you self-help to get money.
It is horrible to take a shotgun up to a little dog in this game and shoot it. That is awful, I agree. But those same dogs that you think are so nice can also attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, killing and eating animals is a part of the world. It's how people sustain themselves with meat and protein.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we going to do about all the guns out there? Sure, we needed guns during the war.
Oh boy, this is such a
Controversial video?
See, by killing that guy with this truck, I helped the overall people of this game. And I'm just immediately driving away. I've already forgotten about him because it's almost
pointless to worry about stuff.
In this game, yeah.
I mean, killing people in real life is wrong.
And extreme violence against animals is wrong for no reason in real life.
Yeah.
The
I mean, if
biggest,
something's attacking you, and then you have a right to defend yourself. And
I mean, I'll admit, in GTA and in Far Cry, I will shoot animals in Far Cry and go crazy and grenades everywhere. But in real life, I will never want to see that happening. But in video games, it's fine because no one gets hurt. It's not real. It's still violence, yeah, but it's not affecting the actual world.
right.
Unless you're one of those people that will just slowly become a fan and will slowly try to replicate things until the point where you actually
Or
you start to take that to the real world, and
where you need to draw the line.
that's once again goes back to whatever kind of person you are. If you become obsessed with something, you should stop before you take things too far.
Right. And
And on a smaller note, there are martial arts fighting games that could also fit into this.
like Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Tekken,
Naruto. Well,
Street Fighter, just all kinds of games where just beating other people up.
yeah.
I know that you said you wanted to make a small little nod to that.
Yeah. Those are not necessarily they're not possible to pull off any of the moves in real life.
At least in the terms of Dragon Ball Z and super powered over fighting games.
Yeah. And that's not really.
Didn't see
There's
that.
a brick there.
Did not see that there. Did not see that.
Anyways, those I don't think pose much of a problem. I would have died from that, but
So fighting games, you go back. What were you saying?
those don't really have much. I don't think theirs really are as
They're not as violent.
per
As,
se.
as
Because the people can defend themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if you
So
shoot,
basically, it's not as violent as walking up to someone and shooting them in the face in Grand Theft Auto.
yes,
And I doubt anyone in the real world is going to pull out a grenade launcher against a rhino. You see? See, sometimes you have to stop it to help people.
although they're dead, then they will always be dead because you killed them. I mean,
I didn't do it, the rhino did it. See, it's necessary to defend yourself. Or in my case, get destroyed by some rhinos. Like that. So in conclusion, do video games cause violence? Yes and no. It just really depends on the person's personality. If they're going to become addicted and admire whatever the violence is. As sick as that is to say, there are some people who try to replicate Joker, Slender Man, all kinds of things. It just comes down to you gotta know right and wrong.
Morality.
Yes, a moral compass. Right and wrong, people. Right and wrong.
Killing people is wrong. Killing people. Okay, this is.
It's a never-ending loop.
As Payne once said.
A lot of people probably don't know who that is.
Right.
So let's just.
A famous. Okay. A popular quote.
Famous character from another show.
Right. Once said that.
I don't know if that's going to tie into this. If it'll tie in nicely. Oh my gosh, I was looking away.
And if you do things out of just for the heck of it, you will eventually cause hatred.
Eventually, as soon as you commit that act and there's someone who loses a loved one or something.
They're gonna want revenge.
Yeah.
They're gonna want.
Yep.
They're gonna hate you. And
It's just.
and then they'll try to get their revenge, and it'll just be. And let's see.
Okay, Naruto there for you. And
anything else you want to add? You missed.
I know. You see? You see? This is why the rhinos in Far Cry. You see this? This is going to be violent. Now, I'm not going to go out with a machine gun and shoot a rhino now, because I did this.
Violent games don't make people violent. They don't make you... It's kind of like... What's the word? What's the phrase? If violent video games make me a murderer, or a rapist, or anything like that, then spoons make me fat. Eating utensils make you fat. That's basically what it's saying. Because, you know, food, you eat food.
I'm just going to give another one here, maybe one that makes a little bit more sense. Maybe one that... If playing a violent video game makes people violent, you can blame misspelled words on you can blame your misspelled words on a pencil.
Right.
It's another fact. Guns don't kill people. They're just a tool created by people, because people kill people.
Alright. So in the very end of the conclusion,
Yes, in the second in conclusion,
violent games don't make people violent.
no, it's becoming dangerously. It's the person that will become dangerously obsessed with a character or an act. It all comes down to someone's moral compass. That's all it is. Same with movies, music, video games, any form of media there's violence. It all goes through your moral compass. And that's all there is to it.
And I mean, come on. If we can figure that out, then anybody should be able to. Stop blaming games for things that you don't. Well, okay, this is gonna sound mean, but don't blame games for not.
Don't blame this form of media for creating the world's violence.
Right. Because people are, well, let's face it, people are stupid. Not everybody's stupid, but people are stupid. I'm stupid. And George is stupid.
Yeah. We're idiots. I'm actually surprised this came out this professional.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, but yeah, it all comes, like, we played violent games all of our lives.
Never done any violent thing.
Except for hunting, but that's needed and required by law. Not.
Yes, and we don't hunt just to say I shot a deer. We hunt for the meat.
Yes.
We use the deer, yes.
We do not, however, go all Eskimo and make clothes out of their fur.
Yeah. Just for the meat.
And the horns.
Anyways. So in the end, it's down to the person, moral compass. Hopefully they know right from wrong and don't try to replicate anything or become too obsessed with a fictional character or action.
Right. And I realize this might get a lot of, well, we both realize this is probably going to get some heat if anyone ever watches this.
Yeah, it sounds like we'll be they'll say we're the damage control for video games.
And all that, and that we're biased toward video games, and we don't like TV, we don't like violent videos. We watch violent games. I mean,
How could you not like TV?
we watch violent videos. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think we both seen Die Hard, haven't we? You have seen Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
Alright, just making sure. And there are lots of other TV shows and everything else that have violence in it too. Even The Simpsons. Oh, actually. Yeah.
Pretty much anything you see on TV has some form of violence.
Right. Now, I realize this is probably gonna get a lot of bad things said about it if anyone ever watches this.
Many people will probably disagree and argue, but everyone has different thoughts and opinions.
Right.
But this is just basic knowledge of what's right and what's wrong and what not to do and what to do.
So, with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't kill us, and
Don't lynch us.
oh yeah, don't kill us. Because if you kill us, you're gonna ban the game!
Oh,
Sorry, I've been holding in a joke like that for the whole entire show. I think
yes,
show.
this has been a very long time for us to remain serious, and I can't stand much more of this.
Right, so before we go nuts with humor and comedy, we're going to get going now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't kill us. Oh wait, I already said that. Wow, it's like a record on repeat. Anyways.
Yes. In the true end, this has already been said like 8 times already, but in the true, oh my god, a lake. Or a river.
In the true end,
It's all down to people's moral compass. That's all it is. That's all it will be. End of story.
yes. See you guys later.
I'm gonna go nuts now.